And we're back. Just let me share the new stream part 2. Hope it works. Yep, it's here. But why am I not seeing the other one? Anyway, it's not a problem. Alright, so let's share this again on Facebook. Sorry for the delays, guys, and sorry for the pause in the video, the stream. But we're here again. Alright. Okay. So I think we can go on. Let's put in the music. There's the music again. Alright. So I'm back from dinner. We need to remove all the RAM chips on this board here. Will be a bit of a pain. And then we're going to test the ones I pull off on another board that works, one by one, and see the result of that. But removing all the chips is quite a lot of work. And I really wonder what caused the damage on this board then. Sometimes it's caused by someone that plugged in the power supply with the wrong polarity, so it could be a cause. It could have been a cause. I don't know. It could be something simple like one of the power parts in the power circuit failing and blowing up all the chips. That happened a lot in the past as well. Anyway, let's get them out. It's unfortunate because the board is working, only no video output because of low ROM failures. But I guess the rest will be working just fine. So I think I will start with the pins of the chips in the corners, because those tend to be harder to get out from this board with my desolder station. So we'll do them manually first. Seems to be working a bit better sometimes. Not always. Hey, Mark! I bet you're going to say, these are not the boards I'm looking for. But as I said, I will go on with repairs until the whole backlog is finished during the next days. And lots of people are waiting, so that's what you get when you run a business and get in over your head. Mark, just blame Rene, because Rene was here last week and he stole some time, you know. It's his fault. No, it's my fault, because I don't sleep well, so there's no excuse for me that I'm not working at night. So it's just my fault. I should skip sleep. It's a waste of time. Renee, okay. Renee is a hoarder. No one will say he's not. And but he says he told me he's not a geek, and that's something I do not agree with him. I guess he will hate me saying this, but. Alright, let's get all these chips out, fix the power circuit, and get new chips back in. And I'm going to try to see if some of these chips still work, but I don't have much hopes because all of them got warm. And the strange thing always is, if you pull out the chips that got hot, you will see that some other chips get warm. That's mostly because when a chip dies, it makes a short inside, and so the chips that consume the most power, which is limited by the power circuit, those will get hot first. And when you pull them out, then the other chips can consume the power that the first chips used. So it's often hard to know in front which chips are failing. With the picture output that you've seen in the part 1 of this video. I just wish there was a quicker way of doing this. Even quicker than using a desolder station, you know. Let's do a quick cleanup, because it often gets stuck inside here. Let's avoid that. I don't know why I have so much troubles with my device. This is, by the way, the second gun for this desolder station. So I don't know why others don't have that much trouble with it as I have. No, these are not the faults I'm looking for. I always hope they're quick errors to quickly fix, you know. Okay, most of the holes are empty. Oh no, that wasn't quick. I mainly was waiting for my daughter to finish her dinner, because my daughter was complaining again. She didn't like the food, but she finished her plate because I demanded it from her. So, what do you think? I'm a good or a bad parent? She finished her plate even though she didn't like it. She was really complaining. She said, "No, I won't finish my plate." I think 5 times or so, and then I just sat there and waited, and it worked, because I don't give up. The tip of the solder station, Peter. Because I tried a couple of different sizes and I didn't get that much different results. The only thing that I encountered is that the tip needs some time to get properly hot. So when you put it on, when you turn it on, and the display says it's at a set temperature, it's actually below that, and I have to wait for 5 to 10 minutes to get to the nominal temperature. So that's what I did discovered. So it's really not the best developed, designed tool, but it works. If I really would use Jedi tricks, I would just make you think you never owned these boards, you know, Mark. No, I'm an honest guy. It's just time. Time. Okay, most holes are open. Come on, open up. I think this is it. Let's see it. Right. You never owned these boards now. I don't think you're a auto, Mark. You're more into flowering, okay? Or something like that. You're totally not a technical minded. You just like flowers. Does it work? Oh shit! Oh, sorry, track went off. I hit it. Okay, one track that is damaged. Let me check if I can fix it easily. Okay, we have one small piece of damage, not too much. Not to be concerned. Oh no! Don't say that, Ben, because you have another track. Ah, these old boards, I hate them. Alright. Almost even a third one here, so I'm being very careful now. Okay. This sucks. It's not too bad because, of course, it's not the first time this happens. Okay, I can fix this. Just need some jumper wires. It's not too bad. So fixing the tracks. Why is there a band in this track? This is so odd. It shouldn't be abandoned. Okay. This is okay, I think. Oh god. That could be worse. The thing is, I just hate it when I have to do work, extra work. I was trying to be very careful though. Not careful enough. It's because of the jokes I was trying to make. I don't think I'm that funny, maybe. Alright. So I'm putting the tracks back on where they should be. And I will use some super glue to Make sure they will stay in the same place for the time being. Right, super glue. Who on earth would kill one of your 2068 Mark? Who would do that? Who would do such a thing? You must be stupid. What was his name? That's one. I cannot imagine anyone who would kill your 2068. He must be stupid. Right. Super glue is on. Then we do a close inspection here. Ah, it looks quite nice. If the chips are back on, no one will ever know. So I got I got two remaining issues. One is that one hole is not above the hole on the board. It is now, so that's good. And the other thing is that one of the tracks was cut actually, and I have to find a way of solving that. It's not too hard because we will add a jumper wire. Oh. That was strange. Well, you can watch the stream from the beginning, but it's hard to chat along, of course. Right. So for jumper wires, I use the thinnest wire I can find, and this is from ADA cable, from the old school ID cables, you know, 80 pin ones, and so 80 wire ones. You can use a roll of a new one, but this is what I have. It's good enough, more than good enough. So what I will do is I will put a small piece into the hole, solder it on there, and another piece will go on top of the damaged wire, so there's a connection again. Easy as that. Not difficult at all. So it's done already. So that's what I hope my dentist will say it's done already. Right. So the next thing is see what the board does now. Do we get proper minus 5 volt and 12 volt and minus 12 volt? And if so, do we get some more diagnostic action? Let's make sure there are no shorts on the board before powering it up. Because of the desoldering here. Some blobs, you know. Right? And there was one hole that wasn't completely opened up. And one more here. Yep. Okay, I'm doing one more close inspection. Just to make sure there are no shorts or something. Everything seems to be okay. Yep. Alright, so we will take all the chips here and we'll test them on another board. And we'll test this board and see what we will do next. Yeah, of course, Mark. I wanted to have that one. but we'll discuss the ownership in the future with you. Just want to test it. Right. Let's see. Okay. Let's get our multimeter and let's switch to the other camera. Okay, so I think if I put this here, no, it's not good enough. I want to show you. I want to be able to show you the voltages. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I hope you can. Let me know if you can see what's on the display here. I don't think so. So I'm going to measure -12, -5, and all kinds of that, all sort of things. So let's put it here. We can move the wire, and I want to see what this pin does. It's 12 volts. This one is -5, so that's present again. And this one is ground, and I think we're there. Right, so all the voltages seem to be present. Let me check again with the die. Yeah, all the voltages are here, so I think the only problem are the lower memory chips. And because of that, I will grab another board to test those chips. Right, so let's test them. The reason that I do short tests is I don't want to get other stuff damaged, because, for example, the voltage regulator is not on. You can see one of the chips working. So okay, that's the first. But a couple must be bad. This one is bad actually. Okay. But as I said, I tend like to use original parts as much as possible, because it will keep the machine original. This one also works. Let's feel if these are not getting hot. Nope, nothing wrong here. Nope, it's completely fine. So now the question is, what should I do? What do you think, guys? Should I put new chips on the defective board, new old stock, of course? Just to make sure. I think I will place sockets, by the way, because I pulled all the chips now, and usually if there's only one defective chip, I won't use a socket because it's better for contacts, and it looks a lot nicer instead of using one socket, you know. But because we pulled all the chips, I think it's now better to put sockets back. Okay, we have 4 working chips. And I'm telling you that the couple of chips were getting hot. So the other doubt I have is if the power circuit might still be bad, you know. Could be a diode or something. Okay. Nothing wrong, 5 working. Okay, maybe it's a 5-volt Xena diode. Because the 5-volt went missing when we did the last test with the chips that didn't work. Here's something wrong. We can see that. Yeah, on the 12-volt line. So let's pull it out. The 12-volt line is working again. So this chip is unreliable. Right? Nope. Do not bend with the legs of the chips. Alright. Okay, we have 6 working chips. So I really hate saying it, but I really doubt if more than 2 were defective. So we'll throw these away. And the next question is, what shall I do? I think I will just solder back 8 sockets and put the chips in and see what happens. Alright, time for some sockets. Pin. Yep. Let's get this baby working again. Let's, or as Lewis Rosman says, let's make this a happy spectrum again. I really hope all the Shorts are gone. Yeah, there's still some holes open, so I need to clean them out. This was not the easiest board to work on until now. We'll get there. So I often do some, what do you call it, gambling. And this time I think I made the wrong gamble. I think I should have just, I don't know, replaced the power circuit first or something, you know. Because if I'm going to put back these chips, will that make the board boot again as it should? Or is there another problem in the power circuit? And because I'm talking about power circuits, let's check if anything is burnt or something. Sometimes you can see it, not always. There's nothing to see here. So if there is still something wrong in the power circuit, I would guess, my first guess would be the 5-volt Xena diode. Hello, another Denmark guy. Birdie is that the name? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's put in some sockets. And when the board is done, we still have to put a heatsink on the ULA and remove the socket as well, so it's for later. It's awfully quiet at Mark's place, so has Mark been eaten by the trash machine outside? Has he fallen into the what do you call it? Container? We have electrical containers here, you know, in Holland. So many places have containers you can enable to open up with your card, and you put in your garbage, and it will be collected once in a week or something. Complete container. I don't have our household don't have that service, but I know many utilities have them, use them. Right, so the sockets are all almost in. I'm really curious if the power circuit is okay or not. I once would like to buy an ultrasonic cleaner. I've talked about it in a previous video, and I really don't like seeing flux remains on the boards from repairs, and so it's ugly. It doesn't matter for the board to work. I like the boards to be clean. Alright. Let me check if I didn't create any shorts here. I think I see one. Yep. Done. Alright. That is good. Right. Okay guys, let's switch to the other camera again. And let's see what the board does now. I'm so curious. First, let's see if we got all the voltages and no new problems because okay, we got all the voltages. So that's no problem. Let's put in chip by chip and see what happens. This still is a sign of something wrong with the voltage circuit, you know. I really doubt if what it is. I think it might have to do with the capacitors. So because I'm not getting any correct output. Maybe it's the UA chip that could be caused now, but we still don't have any voltage issue at this moment. But still no correct output as well. So there's something still wrong. It might be just the capacitors now, because there's nothing wrong with the voltages noticeable in the die card. Let's find some suitable chips here, in the same year at least. Got so many. Right. 85, 3. So I guess I will take some 84s because the ones that are in are from 84. 84, let's see, 8421 is the closest I have here. Let's see those. Still no output. There's some serious issues still remaining, and I'm not sure what it is. This chip's still getting hot. Why is that? Why are that? What the hell is wrong? I guess there's still a problem in the power circuit, so we have to stop using this board at this moment. Maybe we can put other chips on it, but I think we have to check for power the problems first, and that's what we'll do is replace the capacitors, because I doubt if they are still working as they should. In the meantime, also checking out the UA chip. But I guess it's capacitor related now. UA chip is fine. Alright. As far as we can see at the moment. So I say it's the capacitor related. Let's get back. This is just my intuition, because the power levels are there, but the output of the video is just garbage, so it could be just something wrong with these capacitors. check if the capacitors are in the orientation that I expect. Yep. Alright. Alright. So the old ones are out. Right. Okay. Quick clean. Right. And put in new ones. Yeah, there's no resistance. It's useless to resist the spectrums. We will simulate all Commodore 64 users and get them a spectrum. Alright, a couple more. This one here. This one there. 1 microfarad and goes up here. 4.7. Let's see 1 microfarad again. then one more on top for a reset. And one remaining 22, which goes in here. So usually all the polarity symbols on the board are correct, except for issue 2 boards. There's one capacitor that has a wrong symbol, the symbol has the wrong side. Hence I created the capacitor, the recap maps, which you can download from ByteDelight.com, just Google for it. And those are very useful when you're doing recapping. So nowadays I just pull all the capacitors off before putting new ones on. Otherwise you have to do it one by one if you don't have such a map. Also there are 2 capacitors on different places from time to time, on several board issues. So always keep a close eye on where they are. If there is such an exception, then write it down first or do them at the end when you've done all the other ones, for example. That's what I do. So I always replace the ones that are at the same position on all boards, and then I do the exotic ones. Okay, so we got new capacitors, and I really hope it will make a difference. I'm not sure, we have to check that. Okay, let's get to the bottom. Let's get to the bottom of it. Might be interesting, but I also already found a way of finding background music for YouTube videos without getting your videos demonetized. There are some tracks on YouTube that are royalty free, and I've used a couple already. They seem to work okay. But if there's only one song that is copyrighted, then most probably you will lose all your monetization options in that video. Only in that video, of course. But anyway, just be careful with it if you want to use such features. Alright. So the new capacitors are in. Do a double check to see if nothing is wrong here. There are some solder remainders here. Sorry for the noise. My email client is open, and it plays a tune when I sell something through the web shop. So if you heard it, you know what it is. It's really bad, I know. The kids like it. Right. Oh, you made it yourself then? That would be nice. Cool. Yeah, cross your fingers, guys. Let's get to the other side again. But there's not a big chance that it solves the issue, but the capacitors need to be replaced anyway, so why not try it? Ah, look, it's a lot better. It's a real lot better. So I have good hopes now. Still, we don't have color, and I wonder if the chips get hot. There are still some problems. Oh, we have one hot chip here, so we will get that one up. And I really wonder if something is smelling. All right. Okay, we have 2 hot chips here. So, oh man, there's still something wrong. And I think I also placed the wrong capacitor here. Why did I do that? Okay, but it's a lot better. Oh, I didn't check. There was no 12 volts? Dang. Right, you can see everything live here, so also everything that will go wrong. Okay, I placed one wrong capacitor, should be 22. I don't know why I picked 100, but okay, let's swap it. That's the first thing. I don't think capacitors are put in wrongly, but I guess, well, let's replace some parts in the power circuit, you know. There's still some issue here. I guess the power circuit has been damaged. It is a lot better now, and I have had the experience before that capacitors can cause power defects even, and cause RAM chips to die. So sometimes it's just best to start with the capacitors, you know. I didn't do that this time, but it's always a chicken and egg story. What will you do first? Well, if a board is booting, then there's no discussion. You just replace the capacitor and it's ready, you know. So if it's not booting, what will you replace first? Will you start with the capacitor because it's time consuming, and I tend to use the boards that already work, so I don't want to spend time on capacitors when I have boards laying that already are working. But the problem is that when I get a board from a customer, I just have to repair it, you know, there's no question about it. Anyway, there's 12 volts, because there's 12 volts on the die card LED. If the die card LED lights up, then there's 12 volts. That's, well, it might be a bit lower, but still, if chips are really getting hot because of defect, then there would be absolutely no 12 volts, and there is 12 volts in this board. So I wonder what it is. And why do the chips get hot? I think I will put in new transistors, power transistors, and I will measure the -5 volt and 12 volt, and before doing that I will pull out chips and place them back one by one to see if we are putting down voltages. But first, let's swap these chips here. So brand new tier 4, which is this ZTX 653. And we will put in a ZTX 750, I think, 751, 753, because those are 100% compatible, there's no doubt about it. So if you need replacement parts, I sell them at the Spectrum shop, the correct ones, not the ones that some people believe will work and actually do not work completely. Just get these parts. You can buy them yourself, of course, but if you need them only true or something, then you can get them at the Spectrum shop. Alright, hey, I see a leg. Forgot to cut this leg here. Alright. Okay, so we'll pull the chips and we will do some more measuring. And this time I will use my second multimeter because I have an ID. So I wonder why the chips still get hot. That's my main concern. How can the chips still get hot even if we get a proper 12 volt and 5 volt and -5 volt? So what's the problem here? So first let's start with measuring the 5 volt output. Maybe it's just too high, we don't know. I said I would pull all the chips. So I did not yet replace the voltage regulator, the 5 volt regulator. Let's see what it gives. It says 4.9, and we got color on the screen, so that's a lot better. So I guess it's just a power circuit. Second, let's test 12 volts. We got some color on the screen, so it looks a lot better than it did before. I still wonder how the chips got hot when we got lower voltages than nominal, you know? That's strange. Let's see what this is. We got a minus 5 volts, which is exactly 5.08, so that's good enough. And we got a 12.14 volts on 12 volt line, so maybe it just was the tier 4, tier 5 set combo. Right, let's get this up. Let's see if this single chip gets hot. It doesn't get hot, and we got decent colors, so that looks promising. Right, let's do the second one. Right, let's do the third one. And I really doubt if the two good chips that got that hot are still reliable, so I think I have to replace them as well. Yep. Yeah, we can see some of the text now, so, but I really want to, I will throw these away, I don't trust them anymore. I will get some more of my stock of chips. Again, I want to have the same date code, about the same date code. I will get the 8421s out. The ones that got hotter, by the way, the two that I just threw away, were 2221s as well, so we'll just feel that those are maybe all bad. No hot chips here. Okay, one more then. Yep. So there are 7 in now. We just need one more and then the board will boot up correctly. Do we have one more of the same date code? Yes, we have. Woo. Oh, that's still not good. Which one is failing? So one seems to still be failing, that's odd. Okay, voila! This is no good. What could this be? Please don't tell me that there are more chips defective. There are some really odd problems here. Right, so let's just replace more to see which one could be it. It's not, I don't think it's a lower RAM, but let's just see if we can prove that. Still the same issue. Seems to be an address signal issue. I'm looking for more of the same date code, but it's not that important at this moment. Okay, so now all the chips have been replaced, and we still have a problem, we still have an error. So this could mean a couple of things. It could mean that one of the damaged tracks that I think I checked good enough still has a problem. We will do some measuring at the other side again. We're almost there, but it's still not working. So this board is taking way too long, but what can you do about it, you know? Alright, oh. So the first test I do is see if all the pins are connected to each other. It's pin 14, those are the data lines. 5. What was pin 5 again? I have to check the schematics. Just a sec. No, I already checked the ULA. It works on another board, so I don't think that's a problem. Let me check the pins. Pin 5 is A0. This should be connected to all the other ones as well. And it's not. Or is it? Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. Okay, nothing wrong there. Next thing is to check the data lines. So let me see what is the easiest way of doing that. We can track them to the ROM, for example. Yeah, let's do that. Pin 11. It's going to, let me check. 11 is going to the upper RAM chip, which is IC15. 15. Oh, not looking at the correct place. Okay, the schematic is different than the other schematics. Anyway, I can see it's IC6, so this one here. Oh, it should be there. 14, 13, 12, 11. That's odd. 11, was it? Yes, pin 11 goes to... Oh, there's a resistor in between. Okay, that's not the way to measure it. Let's measure it differently then. So the ULA chip then. Okay, pin 18. 18, yes, goes to this one. Nope. What am I doing wrong here? This should be IC6 going to pin 18 of the ULA chip. Oh, this one, sorry. Yeah, that's okay. Then pin 21. Then pin 22. Then pin 25. Then pin 27, then pin 29, yep, then pin 30, and the last but not least, 31. Okay, so that's all connected. Well, there could be still several things here. For example, the PCF version 06 could be damaged. One of the upper RAM chips could be damaged. There's still several possibilities, and it's really tough to say what it could be. Let's see. Because it really looked different. I really had a feeling that it was looking like something related to an address line, and I've not measured the signals from the chip. The address line is going to the ULA chip, so we can do that still. So let's start with pin 11 on the ULA chip. So that's yes, 11. And we'll check if that one goes, come on mouse, get up. If that one goes to pin 6, yes. Alright, then we will go to pin 10. That should go to pin 10 here. Yes. Then we get to pin 9. That should go to pin 12. Then I guess we get to pin 8. Yes, pin 8 goes to pin 5. Nope. Let's check that again. Pin 9. Did I check pin 9? Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's first check 9 again. 9 goes to 13, I think. What am I doing wrong here? This is pin 9 indeed. Let's zoom in because it's hard to see. Right. Pin 9 is DMA 4 and pin 9 goes to pin 12. Okay, that was correct. Then 8 goes to 13, that's correct as well. Then we have 7 going to pin 5. Then we got 6 going to pin 11. And at last we have 5 going to pin 7. Right. Okay, there's only one other line here that's result that's going from pin 3 to 5. So 49, 8, 7, 6, 5 going to pin 4. Alright. Well, I can't see any obvious problem here. Okay, this is a really tough board. Oh wow! What the? You will not believe this. I'm sure I didn't do that, but look at this. Look at those resistors there. Come on, camera. Yeah. Look at those. Who on earth has done that? I haven't done that. But that won't work. So that's a clear error. I really wonder. Yeah, you can call it a bad resistor, Franco. 3 resistors are damaged extremely. Let's get them out. I didn't do that, really. One case. Yeah, you've seen me pull it out, didn't you, you later? I didn't do that. Who on earth did that? Someone, some Rambo or something, someone like that. Terminator. Massacre, yeah. Mark just remembers me working on your microwaves. Oh man, that was even worse. That was my bad too. Totally my bad. His microwaves, one of the rarest ZX80 clones, didn't work properly until I was working on it for a couple of hours, and I found there was one capacitor with a loose leg. Oh man, that was bad. Totally my mistake. So sometimes you should just look for the obvious, you know. Sometimes I think there's a real electronic defect, but it can just be things like this. Okay, I really wonder which part these are. So I will check the schematic first. I want to know if this would explain the issue we have, because I say it's address line related. Alright. What's wrong, Franco? You're becoming my apprentice? My Jedi powers go overseas. Anyway, let's see. I could share the screen maybe. Let's see if we can do that. So we have the schematic here. Why is it not showing the screen capture? Dang it! Why is this? Just a second, guys. This is strange. For some reason the screen capture isn't working. Nope. It's completely failing. Dang, sorry. So I cannot show the schematic. Anyway, let's check what resistors those are. 84, 85, 86. 84, 85, 86. Let me check. 84, 85, 86. Where are those? 84, yeah, exactly. They're exactly on the address lines on the lower RAM. There are pull downs on the address lines on the lower RAM. So, I'm telling you. This explains a lot. Oops. $1K pull downs. Let's see if this solves all issues. Let's see if this brings world peace. I do wonder if the board would be able to do without these pull downs, but because they're on the lines that go from ULA chip to the RAM chips, direct memory access lines, I can imagine the pull downs are really necessary to get the board working correctly. Right, so that looks a lot better. So there they are. Focus, camera, you can do it. You can do it. Please. Please focus. Please. Yep, thank you. You can see 3 new resistors in. So, I almost bet this will work. You're bad. Buying a ZX80 for the rivets. I think the rivets are sold from now and then. They were in the past. Rich Metal sold them, I think. Alright, let's get back to the other side. And this board is really taking way too much time. But anyway, we want to see whether we can get it working. And it will boot up now. It will boot up. Oh, almost! There's still a data line issue. Oh, come on, there. Cable. Okay, let's resolve that first. I think we still have the same issue. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this could be. This is very odd. Anyway, let's first, often do this more often, put a little bit solder on the RF output, because the connectors are often a bit too small for the cable to connect properly. So it will work better now. Okay, we still have the same issue here. I'm checking if I can see if any of the data lines are hanging or something, but it's not the case. So we still have the same issue. So for some reason the lines are doubled, as you can see. This is really a ULA problem. Or related to ULA or lower end. Alright, what could this be? Why didn't the free resistance solve this issue? Dang it! Oh, sorry. This is Evgeny from Russia. I think that the music has stopped, so I will get another track. Just a second. Okay, found one. Yeah, there's some music, I think. Let me check. Yeah, just music. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I really thought that would do it as well, so I wonder if I overlooked something. Is there more damage? Oh wait, I can see some tracks that have been damaged as well. So the person who tried, I guess, to get out the ULA chip did a lot of damage on the board. Oh my god. So we have to do some more measuring to see if the tracks are still working underneath those resistors. And before doing that, I will lift the resistors that I just soldered in to clearly see that you'll be able to see the tracks underneath. They have been touched. I can see some tracks with lots of dents in it, but I'm not sure if they're actually broken. So that one is working. What could it be? Also checked for shorts, but I can't find any, so I really didn't know. So it seems to be okay. I don't know. What could it be? So now there are several options of causes, so that's hard. Oh wait, there's a short there underneath under one of the pins of the lower RAM sockets. So I think we're lucky to have found the pull down resistors that were broken, but it doesn't seem to have been the cause of the problems. Still, if I didn't detect that, then most probably the machine wouldn't have been reliable, and we have to continue looking for that. But anyway, so I removed the short. So I say it's working now. I'm pretty confident of that. Oh, sorry. I can see it in the corner. I will get back to the other side now. Ah, stupid me. Yeah, this should be something like an automated camera, you know? Automated camera switcher or something. Okay, I bet it's working. And it is. Problem solved. Alright. Next thing, before doing more tests, is replacing the 7805. Let's take a couple of seconds to say hooray! Oh god. Stupid. 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 Sometimes it's very frustrating repairing these machines, you know. Alright. But we did it. And that's the cool thing about experience. It's with everything you do, you know. When you do something for the first time, you feel like I did with many things in my life, you feel like, oh my god, what am I doing? Am I not destroying it? And when something does go wrong, you're scared the hell out of yourself, and thinking that you washed away lots of money, you know, that sort of thing. But it's really, it all comes down to experience and not reacting too strongly. Just stay calm, do wherever is needed, and make sure you get to the end. Right, nice Traco power switching regulator. So the new ones with the black front and the white silk screen. The other ones were red in the past. Alright, so let's do a test run with the other more original RAM chips, because those were more in the same date range. I think it's important. And let's switch back to the other camera again. It was a nightmare, it was indeed. You can say that. So, but the cool thing about electronics in general is it's really not, it really cannot do much wrong, you know. And I shouldn't say that because it will blow up in my face in a second, most probably. But there's nothing that can really go wrong. Electronics are made for a purpose, and in normal circumstances, it's hard to damage parts. It's not easy. But some choices with companies like these RAM chips with this power circuit, that's not the best combination, because if one of the parts is failing, then the tips will blow up. So that's a bad thing. That's one of the worst things ever in nuclear history, I think. But I guess back then you didn't have much alternatives, so I get it. Okay, let's do a quick, because I'm an artist, let's do a quick sorting of the chips here to get the proper date ranges. Otherwise I will get mad. Really, I'm no ODD guy or something like that, but I like having things sorted so I can grab them more quickly next time. That's my main purpose. Anyway, let's get them. This is a 8.3. This is an 8.3. This is an 8.4. Oh, this is one of the original ones, so let's put it back. Put it back. Okay. I want to keep the 8.421s, because those are the closest to the 8.440s that we're in. Those original ones. We're going to do a better test in a second. We still have to do to replace the ULA chip, sorry, the sockets, the heatsink ULA chip and remove the socket. That's what I wanted to say, sorry. Alright, chips are sorted. Oh wow, I got an STC 4116 chip from '86. It's one of the newest I've ever seen. Oh, you got a red one. Oh god. Why? This is this one. Nope. So we still have a red one. Or two maybe, I don't know. Dang it, I thought that all the other ones were working. Just a second, guys. So which of the two is dead? This one. Alright. Oh, sorry. Okay, long live the diagnostic cartridge. Such a relief. Buy one and then expect them to chop if you don't have one already. Or if you have one and you want another one, then just buy one. I will help you. Alrighty. Nothing gets hot, except for the ULA chip. That's where we need to heat sink it, of course. Okay, so this is all working. The beeper was working, speaker, sorry, and we need to do some testing with, for example, tape loading. Let's do that in a second because I want to know if that works before soldering in the ULA chip. Let's see if it's not dead. It works. Okay, so this ULA chip is perfectly working now. That's all I wanted to know for now. Of course, as always, I will perform 4 tests. I have a booklet for it, if I have some left. Sorry for my arm. You like my arm? Okay, so I have these booklets, sorry. Refurbishment story. I really make a story of it, so I write down every detail of the board that I can write down. And I show the steps that I take to test the board thoroughly, and if I need to add some tests, then I will add some tests in a new version of the booklet. So I use this as by default for all my repairs. Except, by the way, for one of the phases that I just did, because those are easy. Anyway. Right, let's get the ULA chip out and put the heatsink on it. And I'm thirsty, so I'm going to drink some water. Well, Franco, if you want some inspiration for doing repairs yourself, check out my mate Vince YouTube channel. It's a great channel. He often doesn't know what he's doing, but it's really cool to watch because he's not at all scared about doing repairs himself. So if you want inspiration, then please check his channel, my mate Vince. I like it. Sometimes I get the creeps of what he's doing, but usually I like his attempts. Alright, so the ULA chip, for that we need a heatsink. Yeah, heatsinks. These ones. What was the brand? It was, I don't know, Google for ULA Gallery ByteDelight and you will find all details for where to obtain this heatsink, if you need to. And why I am doing this is because the ULA must be cooled down. But if you put a heatsink on it with the socket, it will not fit in a 48K rubber case anymore, so don't do that. Get out the socket. I know it's hard, I know you have the chance of damaging tracks, but that's what I do. For every refurbished board I sell, this is all the work I do. So get it repaired, get it working, get it tested thoroughly, replace the trigger power regulator, replace the capacitors, and then you can find them in ZXspectrum.shop. Or you can send yours and have them repaired. It's cheaper, but it's, you can see, sometimes for me it's just a waste of time because this is taking way too long, but anyway. Oh, great! You watch Alien on Laserdisc? That's the best, man. I showed my Blu-rays today. The four, what is it? Anthology. The four first movies, so including Prometheus, to my daughter and a friendie she took home from school today. But they're kids. They're 9 and 8 or something. And so I showed them the Blu-rays and. Oh, I like the movies a lot. I even saw Alien, the one from '76, and in the theater, a real theater, when it was rerun by Pathé here in Holland. It was really awesome to see that movie in its full glory in the cinema. But I've never seen it on Laserdisc. I can imagine that the quality is maybe even better than Blu-ray, but I'm not sure. The Blu-rays are great, and not expensive, by the way. So I have a PlayStation 4. And we don't use them that often because my kids all have PCs, you know. So that's what you get with that, like myself. You will get all my old PC stuff, so Core i7s and more, and SSDs and all the stuff, all the good things. But I really love Alien, and my daughter hasn't seen any of them. She's 9, and my son saw the first one, I think, when he was 11. So. I will wait a little longer, and then she will be taught the good things about the Alien movies as well. And most probably she will not sleep at night. So. You can find the trigger power regulators on ZXspectrum.shop. But of course on the other sites as well, but whatever you want. And the only problem, as you may have read, is that PostNL decided to ridiculously increase the rate for small packets in Holland, and I cannot send them by standard mail anymore, so that's a real pain in the ass. But anyway, if you need something from ZXspectrum.shop and you want to order trigger powers along, then it would be interesting. And maybe my price is good enough anyway, so I don't know. Check it out. I'm not making much profit on it, it's just that I can, since I have them in stock anyway, I want to offer them to people as well. So. Alright, so the 10-hour board is almost done. I'm very careful. I don't want to get any more damage now. Yay! We did it! We did it! Sorry. Sorry for the dropping. I didn't do it on purpose. Right. So before getting it in, we need to put some thermal paste on it. Where did I leave it? I have to get underneath the desk, so I'm here, but I'm going underneath the desk now. Which you cannot see, so not the biggest problem for me. I think I will buy better quality paste because I don't like this a lot. It's good enough, but it's very thin. It's going all places, you know. My son liked all the Alien movies. We watched Alien 1, 2, 3 and 4. But we haven't watched Prometheus yet. I think it's a totally different movie, but I like it a lot. And even the last one, which was it? The one that was supposed to be named Prometheus 2 or something. I've seen it once, and I like the ending so much. I really thought it's the best ending they could ever thought of. But anyway, please watch it because I don't want to spoil anything. Okay. So I use a super glue to attach the ByteDelight chip to the heatsink. That's one side. I tend to mess up a lot with super glue, so I have to be careful. So this was a Type 7, sorry, this was a Type 6, by the way. This is hard. This shouldn't be in here. Officially it shouldn't. And there are some minor differences. Now I wonder what should I do? Should I replace it with Type 7 or should I leave it in as it was? I think I will wonder. I think I will put in the correct type. This is a Type 6 and we need a Type 7. I don't want to solder in the wrong type in this board. So it's no problem that this one has been socketed now, or sorry, heatsink now, but there's I always put a small label on it so I know which type it is because you cannot see it anymore. So that's all. And then we need a Type 7. Let's see if I have one here. Yeah, I have one here, but I don't know which type it is. Cannot see it, so the reason that I put it in here was probably that because I couldn't read it anymore. So we'll use the one that came from my test board. Of course, I can use another one from one of the other boards I have laying in stock, but I will take this one for now. And my test board is a 4B, I think, so the Type 6 will work in that as well. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Franco. You're totally right. I could not live with the idea of putting a wrong type on this board. But I still don't know the real differences. I have to study that again. I have the ULA book here, but I don't know the difference between 6 and 7 from the head. I have to check it. I actually don't think there are much differences, but from issue 4 and up, you need a Type 7, officially. It's just that I tend to use the parts that the board came with, because people might expect it. So this is a Type 7, and I know that the other one is a Type 6 because when I put it in the board to test, I read it. So alright, oh, don't drop. So I think it's good enough. I want to make sure. There's certainly enough thermal paste in between now, but it's because it's spreading at the sides. And I didn't put that much on it, but you know, when you push it down, you push everything to the sides. You know, that's how it goes. It's not the biggest issue. The most important thing is that the heatsink really sticks to the top. Now I don't think I have a label left for the Type 7, so I will print some new labels. Otherwise I can just put it in, but I would like people to see that. Okay. Yeah, well, then I'm stuck with the version 6. Okay, that's no big problem. Let's go on. ULA. Where did I leave the labels? I don't know. ULA labels. Labels, not labels, labels. ULA labels for heatsink. Alright, let's do a print. Yep, let's print. And I have some special stuff for when I print something on adhesive label, like I'm doing now, because I have two printers, and one is where the adhesive paper is in, so for shipment labels and so. What I have is I use a special finishing layer. Let me show you. Just a second. I've got a couple of these, and I spray them on the paper so the quality of the paper will remain good for a longer time, you know. And I shouldn't do that here at home, but I will do it because I don't want to get down at the moment. Just for it. So this is you can see it's a label. And I will open a window here and do the spray painting for a second. Alright, so we got spray painted labels, as you can see. So let's put something on it and make sure they're dry. A second. I'm just open. My windows are open, so it's not a big problem. Oh, I've touched it. I shouldn't touch it. It's gross. It's especially useful when you're printing labels to put on computer stuff, and you know, so it won't get scratched easily. It's a really useful way of making sure of it. So we just have to wait a couple of seconds until it's dry enough. Of course, it's not completely dry, but And this is the matte one. I haven't used this before because I used the gloss one before. But I think the quality is it's quite nice. It's really looking as if these are quality labels, if the camera will focus, and it doesn't. Come on, man, focus. Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, okay. No! Stop it, stupid camera. Alright. Libretto. Really? Librettos are old school, man. Very cool stuff. Toshiba. Nice. Thank you, man, for ordering one. Well, I think if you're able to repair ZX Spectrums, then you can buy the do-it-yourself kit. Of course, it's cheaper and it's a fun thing to build. So I won't keep you from that. But of course, I can assemble it as well. But the most ones I sell are the DIY versions, because people who want to repair can build one themselves. And all kits, sorry, all the parts are in separately labeled bags. And the resistors are even pre-bent, so the legs are pre-bent, so it's an easy job for you to do. The only thing you have to make sure of is that you put in the LEDs in the correct orientation, and it's clearly stated in the manual, but still some people put them in wrongly, but it's not my fault, you know. Anyway. I can just laugh about it because the other people can do that as well, but you need new LEDs then. Because not because the LEDs will get damaged, by the way, but because when you try to get them out again with the soldering iron, they get too hot, and LEDs are often quite cheap parts, and they will be damaged because of the heat, actually. Right. So the last step is soldering in the ULA chip with the heatsink on it, and then we're going to perform some semi-final testing, because I will do the 4-off testing off camera. Alrighty, lots of people are watching, by the way, about 30. It's a lot. Thank you all for joining the stream and the chat. Oh, by the way, seeing you in the chat feeder, I hope you can find some time soon to test the 8910 ZXY version, you know, because I really wonder if other people will hear the difference and what they think of it. So if you can let me know whenever you have time, of course. I'm not in a hurry, but I would like to know. What test are you using? What version of the? I think 0.87, the last one. I thought it was that one. I can check it in a second, by the way. We'll put the die card on and we can see what version is in now. But the last one shows, for example, the ULA type, sorry, the Z80 type, so CMOS or NMOS. Woohoo! Alright, let's see what the die card version is. Oh, I cannot press the button, but I will see in a second. And it's for the, oh sorry, 0.37. I was mistaken completely. It's completely different. Alright, let's do let's load the tape, let's do some old school stuff here, man. Let's put in cable here. So we did it. The board is working completely. Took some time. Right. I will clean up at the other side, as you can see, so we can go on with the next one. Should I pause the music maybe? Let's pause the music so we can all enjoy the sound of crisp spectrum loading. Oh, I like it. There's even a quick loader. Isn't this cool? Yeah, it's a good idea, Peter, to use those test boards. I made this one myself. It's quite easy, but if you can think of something like this. But you know that there are some people like myself that would really love to have a real mechanical keyboard. So something like a keyboard with the Kill or original cherry keys on it. That would be the best, I think. Of course, it will be expensive, but I'm sure that some people like myself would want to spend money on it. I even have been thinking of buying an ordinary mechanical keyboard for let's say €40, and then pull out all the keys off, all the cherry switches or kill switches, and remove all the tracks on the board and wire it up as a Spectrum keyboard. It's not too bad, not too much work, but maybe it's more easy to create a circuit board design where you can solder in kill or cherry switches. That would be easier, I think. Of course, this sound is, we will never forget it. One of the most important things, yeah. So, one done, more to go. Look at this board. This is an issue 6A with an issue 2 ULA chip on it. Oh, $12 is not too much. It's cheap. So, should I design? Oh my god! Oh, it's loud. It's still too loud. Let me, right. So the board is working fine. Chips are not hot. Sorry for the American national song anthem. Right. What was I saying? Oh, about keyboards. Should I design a board for mechanical keys? What do you think, guys? Oh, you have a design? Really? That would be cool. I know, Mark, that sometimes happens, but some boards are more easy. This board has a completely wrong type of ULA. I actually have a issue 2 board from this guy. Shite! Okay, why am I saying this? Because here is a issue, ULA type 7 in it, but of course this board needs a type 7 as well, but it's just an easy swap, so that's okay. It's not too bad. So let's swap these ULAs out, and of course we have to test them, but anyway. This cable, I hate the cable being in the way, so I will remove it for now. And let's do some initial testing for this board then. Not making fun of me, Mark. You know what happens sometimes. That's what you get with retro computer stuff. So, you can see the oh man, I forgot the name. Too short, just a second. You see the baseball game in the back. I loved playing baseball at high school, but I always felt that the baseball sessions were too short because we're doing them when we got a gym. I'm not sure if it's an international word at high school, but anyway, but those sessions were only just over an hour. You know, it was way too short to play a proper game of baseball. Anyway, I liked it a lot. Would love to play some baseball again. Well, it's the same with basketball and other stuff. Volleyball I like as well, so lots of things I would like to do, but you know, kids, time, family, oh man. I will get old soon. Alright, second board. Let's see what this one does. Is it the same pain? No, it won't, Mark. Just get started with repairs and you will see it's not that bad. But ZX Spectrums are not the most efficient machines to work on when it comes to making a profit on it. Anyway, I just do it. Okay, let's see. What is the status of this one? So this one is done. I'm not putting a refurbished label on it yet because I've not done all tests for this one. We'll put it back in the box where it came from. And we'll get to test the second one. Let's see if this one blows up in my face. Hey! It's better. Better than the other one. Still, we got a couple of problems. Okay, let's see what it is. I think I saw something again related to capacitors. I also can see some capacitors being bulged a bit, so I have to be careful. You can see it on screen as well. So this is really another capacitor related issue. So we will start with it. It's not too bad. That's what you get. It's with everyone. If you do lots of repairs and you get the hang of it and you get some intuition of what you should do first. Not always, but often. Let's get them out first. I like that more. Let's see if we can do this one in 15 minutes. Please, guys, give me some thumbs up. Let's compensate for the 1.5 hour job we did before this one. Oh man, life. My toothache is gone, by the way. I'm not sure why I don't feel anything at this moment. Maybe it's gone. It wasn't the tooth itself, by the way. It started with I'm not sure what it's called in English. The flesh around it, you know, tooth flesh. That's what was where the pain was. So I took care of it properly. That's not this issue, but it didn't go away, and that's what concerns me a bit. And now I don't feel anything, so that's a good thing. Maybe the root just died. I've had it before, and it's not as painful with everyone as some people think. When the root in your teeth dies, sometimes you just feel something, but it's not as bad as with some other people that can really go through the ground when they feel it. So I was lucky with that. I just really was looking up against the root canal treatment, but in the end, when I took the time to really sit and think about it, and I did it for a couple of days before the treatment itself, all the fear got away, and I now can say that I've done it. I'm completely over my dentist fear, and I'm really happy with getting over those things in life, because there are worse things than that. Lots of worse things. I don't want to be scared of anything if I could choose it, but there are of course things that scare me. For example, It's a cliche, I know, but when I was married and we didn't have kids, I really liked flying a lot. But nowadays, when I go into an airplane with or without my kids, I'm still not scared for myself. But it's that when you have kids, you think of what would happen when something goes wrong and you're not around anymore. So that's the fear I have now. They're not yet ready to live on themselves, you know. That's a completely different fear. I don't think you can call it a fear. It's more of a concern, you know. Fortunately, I'm a geek, so I've never done extreme sports or something. Except for skiing. It's not that extreme, but it can be dangerous. Right. Oh, I love skiing. It's really, oh man, it pains me that I didn't have the time and money to go skiing for the last couple of years. If I have money left, that's the first thing I will spend it on. Is skiing and snow. Man, it's the one thing I say I missed when I was younger. The one and only thing. There haven't been any other things. Skiing, I really love snow. I really love it. I hate it that there's no snow in. Not that much snow anymore, you know. There's even no snow this year. I don't think there will be snow at all. And I miss it so much. So maybe I should move to California or Canada where there's more snow in the mountains. Or Austria. That's totally different, of course. But the good thing about, for example, Austria is that I think there are no bears there. And in Canada, there's more chance of running into bears or skiing into bears. I don't like that. I don't like the idea. Snow is the most beautiful thing on earth. I don't know why. I really am in love with snow. And I'm a geek. Come on, get out, you. I'm a dentist now. I'm getting out this tooth. Get out, you. Come on, next. Okay, they're all gone. Finally. That's my job. Alrighty. I'm getting lots of messages in the meantime, so I know I will be doing messages tomorrow. I did a lot of it this morning because I really have a daily routine and I try to stick with it. But as you may have seen, it's often hard to keep up with all the demands, questions, and other stuff. Nowadays, my top priority when I start the day is handling questions, messages, and so. And after that, and not only email and Facebook messages, but all kinds of messages. Messages come from everywhere. That's the time we live in. There are always messages there. But the next thing is processing new orders and packing orders and creating shipping labels and sending shipping notifications. And when that's done, of course there are some orders left because some products run out of stock, and then I will do production. So with a little luck, that's before 12 o'clock. And when the production is, I usually hope I can do production for all the open orders. But when the production is ready, or finished within a day, then I can focus on development and new products. And this all sounds, in theory, sounds perfectly realistic, but in practice it's totally unrealistic. But I still want to do it. Gums, okay, gums. Hey Jan, I think I just got some message from you, Jan. I saw them coming by, but that's only in the corner of Windows, you know, the notification area. Ouch. I will, just was telling people that I will process emails from starting every day. I try to, but sometimes I, for example, with the Spectranet era, I needed some days, several days to get the new production done on the pick and place machine, and I just let go of everything else and focus on that to actually being able to finish it. Otherwise, I would never get there. And really, I must think as an entrepreneur and command myself, you know, because if I won't do it that way, I will never make a success of this business. That's the tough thing. So I sometimes really need to be hard to myself, and that's one thing that entrepreneurs just have to do. No question about it. Yes, another issue 6A, by the way. I haven't seen many, or maybe even none. Is that issue 6? I'm not sure if I've seen any. I can't remember when I saw one the last time, so most of them are 6As, I think. Let's see, 22s. I've got so many capacitors, and I've got more than only these, because we also sell the capacitor kits, which are very much wanted, by the way, because capacitors are quite expensive, the ones that I use nowadays for spectrums. So we offer the correct amounts in separately packed bags, as always, and people really like ordering them at ByteDelight.com or SelectSpectrum.shop. So thank you guys for that. Some people order 10 at a time, 10 kits at a time. So not kids, 10 kids at a time. That would mean the end of your life. Anyway, one, and another one. I had a couple of relatives and friends that got twins when they already had 1 or 2 kids and wanted just one more. It's kind of funny, you know, but oh man, getting twins when you want just one more in 2020. It's such a pain. But I do really like kids, my own kids, and we had some friends over today from Jamaica with the new baby, who is I think 3 months old now. So I bought his daddy, or for him of course, a romper which says "I love my Jamaican dad." He loved it a lot as well. I really love those guys. I just should spend more time with them. That's the only problem. But my daily routine also implies that I stop at a certain time. So I try to stop after dinner with work. But sometimes there's so much work, like I'm doing now. I want to finish repairs, you know. So I just go on a bit to make sure I can do enough. Alright, okay, 22, and a 1 microfarad. So I took my son to Cambridge, I think 2 or 3 months ago. because Miroslav Werner invited me to come over to Cambridge because he was there with some friends from Czech Republic and I think Slovenia. So we had a good time, but the only problem was that our first meeting place was at the Sinclair building at oh man, I forgot the name of the street. I know where it is. It's still there. And we got a great tour from Joe, who works there for the company that's in the building at this moment, and got to know a great deal of the history about the building and everything else that went on there. So he gave us a great tour. I really liked it. But the only problem was that my son, he's 13 at this moment, and he doesn't have the best patience, yes, yet. So he got a bit bored after a while, and because it was the first meeting that took so long for him, he had problems with the rest of the day as well, and I cannot blame him, you know, he's young. So we went to a great hamburger restaurant just around the corner at the Center of Computing History, at the other side of the bridge there. So we went there. Peter was there as well, by the way, that day, so it was cool, Peter, to see you there. But my son was actually quite bored and even didn't find much cool things at the Center of Computing History. Although I really like being there every time. But one of the best things, by the way, when the day we were there, was that the guy I forgot his name. The guy who developed the wall computer, so the extremely big wall with all the parts of a processor, the CPU shown visually with all LEDs and everything else. He was there, Joseph maybe? I'm not sure what his name was. I can look it up. So he was there, and I gave him a hand because it's incredible what he developed there. Very nice to see. So we had a nice time, and we took the train back that evening to the hotel at London Stansted Airport. So we could just get up at 4 o'clock and get the plane, which was taking off at 6, I think. So it was a nice day. I really had a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that we can do such things. You know, it's just cool that you can fly to a city nearby and spend a day and fly back the same day. It's pretty awesome. This board doesn't have any broken resistors. No, it doesn't. It's looking quite good. Oh man, it's bad, Jan, if you get such issues. But I've had them a couple of times as well, and really the diagnostic cartridge helps a great deal to rule out causes. That's a good thing about the diagnostic cartridge. Anyway, let's get to the other side again and see if the fault has disappeared now. At least we should get proper video output instead of all the moving lines. It's the bad connector again. Oh man, I hate this. Okay, let's do quick soldering on the connector as well. Sometimes I sand it down, by the way. Just a sec. I think it could be my plug, but just adding a little tiny bit of solder on one side is good enough. Alright. Okay, if it's hobby, it's not no problem that it takes a lot of time, but for me, I want to do a board within an hour, you know. I think this looks good. Pretty good. So the video quality is a lot better than it was before. And now the question is if there are any problems left, and there are not! Woohoo! So you can see capacitors, swapping capacitors helps a great deal with these kinds of issues. So no more lower ramp failures, it was just a matter of replacing capacitors. And as I said, I've seen this before, but it's particular that 2 boards from the same guy have the same issue with the capacitor. So I guess these boards have been stored somewhere in I don't know if it's actually humidity or too dry place. I don't know. But the capacitors were really very old. I'm smelling the 7805 the regulator that's getting hot, so I've got to replace it already. But let's do that now. I'm not sure how many I have left. I think I should order more. I have more left, by the way, but those are on the shelves for sales, packed and separately boxed. So hence I only have 2 or 1 left now. Not a big deal. I'll order a couple and have them within 2 days. That's what you get when you're a business buyer at Farnell's, for example. They're so easy, those guys. I called them last week, by the way, because some idiot sent me 25 32-pin IC sockets instead of 25 tubes of 32-pin IC sockets with, I think, 15 in each tube. And he sent them in a bubble envelope. How stupid can you be? So anyway, I guess it's a temporal employee or something, I don't know. Anyway, I told them there was no problem at all, and but it surprised me that I only got some English speaking people on the phone, but they really know what they're doing. So they created a new order. I got the correct parts within a day, and with the delivery of the correct parts, I also could immediately return the bag with the totally bent pins, 32-pin sockets. And it never happened to me with Farnell, so I guess they will fire that employee. Or maybe give him a second chance and have a good conversation with him. I hope so, by the way, because I don't like anyone to be fired because of something like that. But I hope he learns from it. That's the most important thing. Okay, let's do a quick check before putting on the ULA socket, ULA heatsink, and let's do a quick test of the tape input because we don't know if that works. Alright, so we got a nice speaker works and tape loading works. So everything is okay. You ask me. Alright, so last thing for this board is the ULA. And I think I will just grab the one that I opened. It's in the storage. Oh no, that was a 6. You cannot use that. Oh no, nice. This is nice and easy. Well, nice and easy, it still takes half an hour, you know, if you need to replace the ULA socket. At least there is correct type in it. And indeed, one of the steps on my checklist is making sure that the correct ULA type is on the board. So even if the board is sent with an incorrect type, I sell the refurbishment service with getting in the correct ULA type. And if that means that I will be stuck with a issue 2 ULA, for example, well, it's just that, and I will grab another one from a working one from another board. It's not the biggest issue. The only thing is, if the ULA is not working anymore or has a defect, then I talk with the owner and see what replacement we can put in. So maybe a Nebula, maybe not an original one. But I think an original one will be more expensive than Nebula these days. Because I think £15 is the amount I have to ask at a minimum for a working ULA chip nowadays. Hence the Nebula might be cheaper because I think it's £18 or something on original AM, so it's not expensive, not too expensive. Only bad thing about it is that it's quite a big board, and could be, I think it could be done on a smaller board, but it works, it's good enough. And of course, question is it flat enough to, yeah, I think it is. It will be flat enough to put in the socket, because there are only modern parts in it that won't get hot, so it's no problem if there's no space left, you know, for the heat to get out of the case. It won't get hot. Right. I've seen some crystals failing. It's not that strange. I don't know why. I've had it before. But maybe, just maybe it's I don't know, soldering, or maybe one of the legs has become disconnected inside or something, you know, because there's really no reason of crystals to get damaged inside, but you know, old parts, 40 years almost. It's already, what is it, 4 years when we had Spectrum 35. So what are we going to do with Spectrum 30? Sorry, 40. Where are we going to get a great meeting again? What year was it? 2016? No, it can't be. 2017 then, maybe? I think so. I think it's 2017. Alright. Let's see if it wants to get out without breaking any resistors or tracks. Oh, it's no good. No good. No good. This is not good enough. Okay, let's see. Okay. Must be good enough now. I really don't like the sound of all the pins clicking. It's not perfect. See if I'm not putting any tracks. I don't think so. Yeah, we did it. Alright, so this board is almost done. I think in just half an hour or something. Alright. Right. Let's get a heatsink on this one. And I'm almost out of heatsinks, so I need to order some more. Probably get them at Rykel, cheapest source, but you have to pay shipping costs there. So I have to check if their Fisher has offers them anywhere else. The same price. Fisher Electronic. It's the type we are using here. Right. So glue. Don't move. Stay there. Nope, don't move, I said. Stupid glue. Right, now it's good enough. It's good enough. Right. Let it dry for a bit. Put in the correct label. Always forget doing it in front of the work, but anyway. A very nice quality custom adhesive labels. Spray painted with matte UV protector and more. I could make maybe I could make money out of that. No, I'm not joking. I'm just joking. I tend to buy labels at specialized online stores. Do a lot. So the newest label I developed, and ordered are the serial number labels. But the problem is they're made of vinyl, the outside, and I cannot write on it with a pen that stays on, you know. So I'm looking for. I just ordered some Sharpies with which are oil based instead of water based. And I want to know if the paint will stick better on the vinyl. We'll see. Otherwise, I will have to reorder the labels and another finish, more paper-like or something. Just want to make sure that the serial numbers will stay on forever. That's important. Maybe I should print them or something with laser printing. No. But the problem is it's too much work. I'm using like 100, 200 labels a week. It's a lot of work of printing them with custom numbers on it. Rapid soldering, as you can see, that's the way I do it. Oh, I'm not switched with cameras, I see, sorry. Couldn't someone have told me? Rapid soldering. Is it the correct chip? Where's the relay? There's the relay. Alright. So we got a trigger power regulator in, we got a heat-sinked ULA chip in. So next thing is to kind of a final test. We'll clean the edge connector right to the side. Right. Would you guys like me to make a video of how I created the diet card kits, for example, or even the Harlequin kits maybe? Well, the Harlequin kits are a lot more work, so it will be harder to create a simple video about that. But I could do that for the Harlequin kits. So, sorry, for the diet kits. Just let me know. We got ourselves a winner. Perfect. Okay, I might do a live video or a recording of the kits then. Should I show my kids that help me with that? Because they bend the resistors. I can give you a sneak preview about it. Look. So, so these are the parts that are prepared for the diet kits. Some of them. And my kids actually help me with bending the resistors because they like doing that. For money, of course. But the good thing is, I made my own money. So I have my ByteDelight money here. I've never tried paying with that, but my kids get the money. Look, €2.50. 2.5. My kids get this money when they do when they help me out when they like doing that, and then they buy Robux for them for Roblox, you know, that sort of thing. And they pay me for getting Robux. But anyway, I could add that to the video, but I'm not I'm not sure if I should do that. Anyway, right. I think we will finish the stream with the first test of this SU2 board. So it already has been composite modded in some way. So let's see if it works. But I guess the capacitors in this one will be even worse because this is the oldest board of them all. So, but we can do a first test. You can see some flying capacitors there. Okay, the game is still loading. Should I finish it loading? Well, why should we? Let's switch cameras. Why should we wait until it finishes? Because we know it's working. Alright, board number 2 is done. Only some final testing. Rename. So you can imagine that I calculate the price of the things like the refurbishment service depending on average amount of time, and I just cannot do it for the minimum amount of time because that way I will not make any money of it. Alright, it's booting. Not completely, but this can be a capacitor problem, of course. That's the first thing I'm thinking of. Let's just see. Oh, there's an error on the lower run, I guess. Maybe higher run could be also. I think it's a lower run, but it can be a capacitor. Sorry, capacitor related. Yeah. Oh man, this this board is really sick. Oh, the -5 volt is missing. So there are a couple of problems here. So I say TR4 and 5 are bad. The chips are not getting hot, so that's an issue. But what we're going to do with this one is replace the capacitors first, then check if the board works. Then we will do a TR4 and 5 if it's not working then yet. And I don't think this is a hard board to finish. So that will be the first thing I'm going to do tomorrow when I process all the emails and messages. Just going to solder back the reset cable here, so I won't forget that. Postage to Finland. I'm not sure. I can tell from my head. So the best thing is to just put it in the shopping cart on ZXspectrum.shop and see what the shopping cart says, and it depends the shipping costs on your country that it will automatically find by geolocating. So you should get the rate from that automatically before you check out. So you can just put it in the shopping cart and you will see the total amount. Try it out. If there's anything wrong, please let me know. Some people from Portugal, for example, had troubles with the paying with PayPal, I think. So I think some people for that asked me to send them a PayPal invoice instead of them shopping online. It's no problem, you can do that. But it saves me some time if you just check it out on the web shop. Right, so this board will be done first thing tomorrow. And as you can see behind me, oh, you cannot see that. As you can see here, there are lots of other things to do. So I can go on for hours. Let me just move the camera. I know this is bad. You should not move a camera this way, but anyway, I will do it anyway. Press the any key. Why is my camera not zooming out? Oh, it is now. All right. I'm a bit low, I know. All right. I think we've done enough for now. I wish I could have started earlier today, but as I told, I needed to do some work away the old messages. Some people have been waiting for 3 weeks, and I've done some bookkeeping, finishing of that. So that's been sent by post to my bookkeeper, my accountant as well today. 12 euros, not too bad, I think. I think most countries in Europe are not that bad. Even shipped to the US or some other country outside of Europe is still not bad, but that's mainly with the letterbox shipment. So boxes like this one, those are cheap to ship everywhere around the world. But when it gets bigger, then the shipping costs go up quickly. And the worst thing to ship nowadays is an envelope. If you want to ship an envelope, you pay an enormous amount of money for that, because PostNL, you know. Anyway, yes, the diagnostic board is a great help. For me, it's a great help. I couldn't miss it anymore. So let me show you. Give you a quick tour what the board does. So one of the most important things of the board is that it shows the voltage levels. So if any of the voltages is missing, so for example the DSU2 board that I was just testing is missing the -5 volts, and that could have 2 or 3 different causes. So to find out which is causing the -5 volt to be missing is another question, but you can see that if they're present or not. So if they're not present, all the 4 of them, then you know you won't get the stable board, of course. Other things that it will do is you can see all the data lines visually, so you can see them blinking. So Steve Smith added a timer circuit here, so the LEDs are not blinking at exactly the speed of the signals going up and down, high and low, but a little bit slower, so you can really see very clearly which line is, for example, pulled down all the time, or which line is pulled up all the time. That happens from time to time, the hang-in signals, you know. And you can also see if the I/O request, memory request, read and write signals are working or not. There could be an error with that. And I've also already seen a couple of ZE CPUs that do not have any activity on the M1 line, and that's a very simple signifier that something is wrong with the CPU and needs to be replaced. Then you have, of course, the RAM tester and the software and the ROM. I've got a SIP socket on here because I do the ROM testing of all the DIY kits with this board, of course. And I test all the other parts that come from China only. So if I get them from a respectable supplier, I'm not testing them all. But if I get them from China, some parts, then I will test them all on one of the boards, not this one, because I cannot pull the chip below the zip socket here. But anyway, you know what I mean. So that's useful. It got a couple of other features that are useful to some people, like you can remove this jumper if you got a Brazilian ZX Spectrum clone, I think. You can disable the ROM, the flash ROM. So sorry, you can disable the diagnostic ROM, and if you do that, you can find some Easter eggs. I won't say anything more about that. And you can even ignore M1line. I've never used that before. I've never seen the use of that, but there should be some use of it. So those are the good things. They come with rubber feet, so the interface will be leveled behind your ZX Spectrum and not sit wobbly or something. There's a slide switch here. You can put the slider to the left if you want the software to control these LEDs instead of the data lines. If you put it to the right, and if you put it to the left, you can also play with port 31, I think, to control these LEDs. That's fun, you know. You can just output data to the port, and you will see the LEDs blinking the way you want it. But if you like blinking LEDs controlled by your ZX Spectrum, just please wait for one of my projects, which will be a DIY RGB, addressable RGB interface. So you can buy some cheap addressable RGB strips. You can buy them from China, the strips from any length, whatever you want. And you can control them from your ZX Spectrum. And really, that's cool. Just look at my channel, YouTube channel, and find the videos about it. It's so much fun to play around with it. And what I'm planning on is creating a kit with the addressable RGB interface that you can put on your Spicky breadboard if you have one. So you can wire it up yourself and wire up the addressable RGB strip. And I will add some downloadable software that you can, for example, put on a DiffMC or type in or something. Typing in might be a bit hard, but it's because it's partially assembler. So if you like that, please keep an eye out on my Facebook channel or YouTube channel or ByteDelight.com. Sorry, something is being sold. Because I have so many ideas, but I don't have the time for everything. So I have to be selective of what I do first. Yes, it does auto detect. Oh man, cool question, man. Cool question, the best question ever. There's a auto detection circuit on here. It's hard to see. There's a small chip that does the job. It detects if there is a 9-volt present or not, and that's good enough to detect any kind of ZX Spectrum. It's no secret. You can implement it in your interfaces if you want to. I implemented it on my DiffMC interfaces, so the Pro series all got auto detection of the ZX Spectrum model. So it's really plug and play. You don't have to switch any dip switch if you don't want to, but on most DiffMC interfaces there are still dip switches on mine, because you can choose which joystick configuration you want. For example, you can even disable the joystick configuration. And if you're thinking, well, what happens if you put your joystick configuration in Sinclair mode? That will clash on a +3, doesn't it? No, not on the DiffMC Pro interfaces, because DiffMC Pro interfaces, if they detect it's connected to a +3, it will disable the Sinclair or cursor or Sinclair or cursor joystick modes, so you won't get any conflict. So it's all thought well through, and it's also implemented on the ZX die card. Steve Smith used the detection part that I gave him, and I think it's one of the best. Cool stuff. It's not expensive. It's €25. 25 pounds, I think, for a DIY kit. But it's really, I will show you, it's really very packed very well. I showed it in another video last week, so please watch my videos. And I'm just joking. So the kit will come with, of course, the incredible, cool, retro-looking flyer with some colors on it. And it will come with the manual, DIY manual. I will improve the manual a bit because people are asking what all the features on the board are for, so maybe I should add more info. The kit will come with all the IC sockets and chips and edge connector, and it will come with, of course, the board with all the SMD parts pre-assembled, so you don't have to do that yourself. And the best thing is all the parts separately packed with labels on it, and all the parts inside with pre-bent pins. And the most important part is the cookie, of course. There's a cookie. Yeah, really. One and only. So, of course, everyone buys this interface just for the cookie. So you know. Alright. I think I've done enough today. No, it wasn't John. No, if it was John, I would have told him. Ka-ching. Yeah, so you've heard. I should close down my email client when I'm doing these live streams, but they do tend to help with sales because I sold 2 things in the meantime. I think, yeah, maybe 3. Anyway, it's not important. It's just money, you know. It's money. It's no fun. Anyway, so yes, this is my YouTube channel, and I tend to show off some products that we have in stock. And I say we because I'm mostly running ByteDelight by myself, of course, but my wife helps a lot with the Harlequin kits, for example, and she is my how do you call it? Now I'm thinking in Dutch. That's not good. She's my support, my motivation. Sometimes sometimes she sits just next to me, so I can process 100 emails or something in a short time. You know, that's important. And I really like to respond to messages properly, so not quickly, but properly. But still, I try to do that in as short as time as possible because there's so much work to do. And I just must focus on stuff that brings money, you know, because I have a house to pay. Anyway. All right. It's 9:30. I think we did well today. How long were we streaming? Almost 3 hours. And we just did 2.5 boards or something, so not too much. Anyway, I will continue tomorrow. We'll see you in live ByteDelight Live episode 32 tomorrow. So thank you for watching, and thank you for everything else, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.